Hi and welcome to the History Roadshow. Today we're going to be visiting Blenheim Palace at Christmas. What is it about Blenheim Palace? What is it that made George III exclaim, "We have nothing equal to this"? And what is it that inspired Turner to paint there? And what is it that makes today's visitor have their eyes wide open in awe? Blenheim Palace is of a grandeur of the largest scale, a building that dates back over 300 years. Blenheim got its name from the victory by the Duke of Marlborough at the Battle of Blenheim in 1704. It's not only a place to commemorate such a famous victory, but it's also a monument to Queen Anne. As a reward for his victory, Queen Anne granted the manor and honour of Woodstock in Oxfordshire. It was here that John Vanbrugh, the chosen architect, first began to work. His aim to build a suitable setting for a national hero. The Great Hall is the first room you walk into. This vast space, extraordinary in beauty, and topped by Sir James Thornhill's painted ceiling over 60 feet up, depicting John Churchill in Roman dress as he presents his battle plans to Britannia. The Green Writing Room has the Blenheim Tapestry, but there is a story about the first Duke, whose victory it celebrates. A portrait of him to the right of the fireplace was said to be the place in his elder years that he stopped and said, "That was once a man." At the doorway is a beautiful example of a bull pedestal clock, circa 1740. Within the Green Drawing Room over the fireplace is a portrait by George Romney of the 4th Duke of Marlborough. He was quite a remarkable man, inheriting the title in 1758 at the age of 19 and was Duke for the next 59 years. He was also the first Duke to live exclusively at the palace. The Red Drawing Room contains family portraits. The 4th Duke and his family were painted by Sir Joshua Reynolds in 1778, and across from them is the 9th Duke and family, painted by John Singer Sargent in 1905. The chairs you see are Chippendale, and the sofas along the back walls were called chaperone sofas, and these were reserved to make sure there were no unseemly goings-on. As you enter the saloon, you are overwhelmed by the sheer decadence of this room. Once a reception room to welcome guests, today we see it as a dining area, resplendent in every way. The ceiling was to be painted by Sir John Thornhill, but due to a falling out with Sarah, the first Duchess, over costs, it was given to a French artist, Louis Laguerre. The first stateroom unveils more illustrious items, including the extraordinary ornate Venetian cradle given to Consuela, the 9th Duchess, by her mother. Consuela rocked her 2 sons in it. The tapestry in the room shows Marlborough at the siege of Bouchain, taken after a 34-day siege, and although he was victorious, it was his last engagement. He was stripped of his titles and position as Captain General. This was originally the state bedroom, and as you can imagine, it was extremely opulent throughout. Here we see a Louis XIV bull cartagna circa 1710. Bull was possibly one of the most remarkable French cabinet makers and a genius artist of marquetry, and this room represents his outstanding work. The Long Library is thought to be the second largest room in any house in England. It was how Vanbrugh wanted it. Upon entry, a statue of Queen Anne, and although the Marlboroughs had fallen from royal favour, Sarah remained grateful of a one-time friend and so commissioned the work. To the northern end of the room is the magnificent Willis organ, originally installed by the 8th Duke and his American Duchess Lily in 1891. The water terraces were created by the 9th Duke over a 6-year period between 1925 and 1931, compared to the ones in Versailles but on a much smaller scale. Above these you will find the Italian garden. Today it's the Duke's private garden, but raised walkways allow the public to enjoy the setting. Blenheim Palace is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has a history that captivates its audience, from the luxurious splendour of its staterooms to the beauty and majestically defined gardens. Blenheim holds many surprises. We end with the words of Lady Churchill on first seeing Blenheim in 1874.
As we passed through the entrance archway and the lovely scenery burst upon me, Randolph said with pardonable pride, "This is the finest view in England." Looking at the lake, the bridge, the miles of magnificent park studded with old oaks, I found no adequate words to express my admiration, and when we reached the huge stately palace, I confess, I felt awed.